What's going on, everybody? It's Monday. It's Lethal Collective time. What's happening? KillJoy Jake, Craven, something scary with me. Guys, we are here and we're going to talk about horror, damn it.
Yes, we are.
That's what we're going to do. Um, for you guys in the chat, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you all. Blanket hello to everyone. But we do see you guys, and
Hmm.
good to see you, Julie and
Yeah.
Paula and Jen. And we got Wayne as well. Hope you guys are doing well. Um, it's been a little while since we got together and talked about some horror,
Mhm.
but we're here to do that. So, fellas, I mean, we've
Yeah.
got a lot of things going on. Jake, I'll start with you. And
Yeah.
Joe, what's going on, Joe? Good to see you as well. Hope you're doing well.
Hey, Joe.
What's
Um,
up? What's up?
yeah, saying hola. All right. Uh, Jake, what's been going on recently? Because we haven't had a chance to do this type of thing live, anyways, in quite a while. And last week, you and I, before we went live, we we went down a little tangent for I don't know, it was like five or so minutes, and just
Hmm.
kind of just talking some horror. But what's been something that's been on your mind recently as far as horror is concerned?
Oh man, what's on my mind right now is all the Terrifier 3 pictures that have just came out. I am
Yeah.
so excited. I don't know if you guys had a chance to check these out, but it's Art the Clown. He's dressed up as Santa and he's at a mall, like where a mall Santa would
Oh,
Yeah.
sit.
oh,
He's
Yeah.
covered in blood. There's like pictures of like kids hanging out by him somewhere. I'm
And
like, this is gonna be. I have no idea what's gonna happen here, but I am unbelievably excited for it. So
oh.
I don't know. I'm just still so excited for that night. What are your thoughts? Did you see those pictures?
Yeah, I saw the pictures, man. I'm just thinking to myself, oh gosh, this is gonna be abs. You can almost tell, or at least we can theorize, right? Because of course that's what we love to do here. That's what we love to do on our own channels. But Damien is probably gonna have some really interesting stuff as far as art in these situations. Like, yeah, it makes me think of like in Terrifier 2, like when he's in the store and he's just hanging out, and people are like, who the hell is this guy? And just funny things that David Howard Thornton was able to do. Just the body, the physical things that he was able to do, and we get the laugh, but we are also thinking something bad could happen, like at any time, and
Oh, yeah.
especially for anyone that might have an attitude with him or something like that. So I'm just really interested to see where he goes as far as to that line. How far to that line does he go without crossing, so to speak?
And
But
Hmm.
it's
yeah,
interesting with this movie because we have Damien saying that it's going to be scarier than the last one, like less
right,
silly. But all these
yeah.
set photos are telling me otherwise. I feel like this is going to be the goofiest one, but maybe not. I don't know. Um,
You're right.
Craven's like, no, what's goofy about that, man?
Uh, yeah. Welcome to the Clown Cafe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
man. Woo. Yeah, buddy.
uh,
I'll be sitting that one out, man. But Jake, I know you'll cover it in depth, so I will watch your analysis and your
yeah.
review of Terrifier 3, and that'll be good for me. That'll be enough.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
man.
Well,
No,
it's funny because, like you said, he wants this one to be more scary, and he's also said, get back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
Terrifier 2 was his Dream Warriors, and now it's time to kind of
Hmm.
reel it in, get back to what made the original Terrifier so good and so scary and so tense and so forth. And you're right, man, because I mean, if you think about the pictures, if you think about what we've heard, if you think about what we saw in the teaser, it's like
Hmm.
you're right. It's like this seems even more goofy. This seems goofier than Terrifier 2. It really does.
And I'm
But
not against that, like
no,
just to say I'm not against it getting goofy, but
no, I don't think so either. Because I think that's, at least in my opinion, I think that's something that adds a little personality to art in a way, right? Because he doesn't talk, and David's really good with his physicality and the miming experience and all that stuff that he has, and that's fine. But I think that the situations, the scenarios, is kind of what gives us his personality. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
and I think that you kind of, I'm not saying you need it. And again, maybe Damien is going to really be kind of back to basics and lean and mean, but at this point with art, in my opinion, you guys let me know what you think. I think art is kind of, he's getting to that point where you can say horror icon. Not saying he's, at the top of the heap, but I mean, 3 movies is pretty much okay. You're solidified. You've got 3 movies, not including, the appearances previously. Um, but now you almost have to continue to evolve him, make him have some personality. And that, of course, that's always the challenge of a silent killer.
Yeah, and they've made him really interesting in the way that he acts. I mean, he's pretending to crack up while viciously ripping somebody apart. It's ridiculous.
That's right.
You don't know whether to be grossed out or to be laughing with the guy.
Yeah.
But I think now the toothpaste is out of the tube kind of situation. I don't think they can make art just like this silent Jason style killer. You know what I mean? He is a little Freddy
Right.
Krueger at this point. You're not taking that away. I think fans would almost be disappointed if that element wasn't there. You can make him scarier, but that goofiness I think is going to be there for however long this franchise decides to go on for.
Yeah. I mean, look, man, you have a scene where he's doing his laundry in a laundromat.
And he's dude, when he's mopping the floor, he's like doing this. That's so funny. I lose my mind every time I see. Like, I don't know. He's just he's a goofy little guy, man. I like it.
He is. He really, really is. Real quick, we got Carrie's also in the chat and has an anniversary, guys. A 2-month anniversary as a channel member. Thank you so much, Carrie. Awesome. We appreciate you. You know that. Saying, hey, popping in to say, hey, much love to my fam. Hugsies, kissies. The fact that I had to read that out loud, that's great, Carrie. We love you too.
All the love, Carrie.
That's right, man.
Yes.
But here's the thing, and I'm curious about this, and Steven, even though this isn't totally your cup of tea, which is absolutely fine. Do you think at this point art is in the conversation of being a bona fide horror icon? And if not, do you think Terrifier 3 will solidify him?
I mean, I'm hesitant to say he's there because, I mean, there's 3 troll movies. Okay.
What?
The troll is not a horror icon. I mean, maybe there is a cult following that says that he is to them, but
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know, man. I think the hard part for me when I think of the icons, I'm thinking about Michael. I mean, we all know who.
Yeah,
Michael,
we know.
Jason, the names, Ghostface, Freddy. The thing about all these icons that we all bona fidely agree is they're much more mainstream and accessible. That's
Good point.
that's the thing, right? All of them. And so even a casual movie fan will go watch the next Halloween, the next Ghost Scream movie, just a date night. They'll go watch it. If we ever get a Friday movie, right? I think it'll be the same thing. I know. Fingers crossed.
Right.
Fingers crossed.
Blumhouse wants James Wan to direct it.
Right.
Hello. But my point is this. This is why I'm a little hesitant to go there right now, because we all agree that whether you love art or not, what the kind of a horror that Terrifier series is extreme. It's extreme graphic horror. So you're already limiting to some degree what your capability of growth is in the box office, because it's more of a niche type movie, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. But and I'm not going to disqualify him either and say, well, just because he has these, a smaller audience, that means less. But that's the big thing that makes me say let's just kind of wait and see, because if they keep maintaining this level of violence, gore, and intense gore, there's going to be that mainstream audience is not going to go. They're not going to go watch that. They're going to go watch something else, because you have to really be into that to enjoy it, I believe. So I'm gonna say not yet, but I'll say let's wait and see. That's kind of where I'm at with art.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Jake, Jake, what do you think? Do you think that he's already and when I say icon, maybe icon's not the right word either, but when you think of horror villains, and you think of all these villains, including the lesser um appreciated, maybe that's the word, like the creeper, um leprechaun, pinhead, the tall man, and
Yeah.
so forth. I think we all know who the top tier ones are in general, but with Terrifier 3, what do you think that this will do for Art the Clown in horror?
I think that before I went to a horror convention, I was with Craven. I was like, I really like this, but I don't know if anyone else out there knows about, is as excited about this.
Hmm.
But like when I went to two things happened. I went to the screening of Terrifier 2, and when I saw that theater packed, like
Yeah.
to the gills, every seat in that theater was taken up by somebody in an Art the Clown shirt. I was like, oh, this is something. You know what I mean? Like I really thought I was one of the only people, but I'm in like this Art the Clown appreciation society on Facebook too, and there's like thousands of people in there who love these movies, and they're not mainstream, Craven. I will like that is definitely
Right.
something, and I would not call Art the Clown like, because you were just talking like in tiers, right? With icons and Knight, I totally agree with you, man. Like there are like the S tier ones, let's call it that,
Yeah.
right? Like your Jasons, your Freddys, these people. Everyone knows these killers, even if you're not a
Mm-hmm.
horror fan. I don't think Art is there yet, but I think with Terrifier 3 he could be. So I that's where I agree with Craven, but I do think he's an icon. I mean, go to a horror convention. Any horror convention, you will see the majority of people with Terrifier merch on. Like it's wide. Like I would never suspect that would be the case. It is Scream and Terrifier that dominates these horror cons that I've noticed. At least, just in the 3 horror conventions I've gone to. So I mean that's really not, that's not much, but from what I've noticed, it's like it's crazy. It's this fan base is so magnetic. They love these movies and they love the people behind them too. That's something else I've noticed.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. They get a lot of love.
They do. They get a lot of love and they deserve it. They're incredibly nice people. And, you would think they make these like awful movies, like these just horrible, nasty, disgusting movies, but they're just like, they're sweethearts, all of them, every single person from that entire cast and crew. So I don't know. I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderfully disgusting thing, the whole situation. But there is definitely a big following for it, though. That is the one thing that has really surprised me about the Terrifier fandom. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful thing. But give it another movie, and then we'll call him Jason status. But we need one more big, successful Terrifier 2 style release before that happens, I will say.
There's definitely a lot of hype and anticipation, no doubt about that, man. Real quick too in the chat, just to catch up with these guys a little bit real quick. We had a good one here from Joe. Joe saying, "Do you guys think he should ever talk?" I say no. I say he should never talk.
Why?
Because he just shouldn't, man. Can you imagine what he's gonna say?
Oh gosh.
Like I think, well, at least to me, and don't get me wrong, if Damien decides to do it and they want to go a certain route, I trust their creative vision. But to me, it's almost what makes him kind of cool. Well, I don't know if cool's the word, but intriguing, maybe that's the word. And especially for folks is early on, I don't know so much now, but so many that would compare him to Pennywise. And of course we know Pennywise, whether it's Tim or Bill portraying Pennywise, he's a talker. He's great. You just got to love him. And I think that among other things, this is one of those things that kind of really separate Art from Pennywise. But I don't think he should ever talk.
It's a big part of his character.
Yeah,
I agree. It makes him iconic. Like I mean, he's more about the facial expression than he is any line of dialogue. And I think they're going to try to humanize the guy in 3. Like a big theory I've had is that we're going to see like a little more of his background, like how he got to basically the demonic state that he is in now. But I I don't think he's going to talk. I feel like that would maybe like, the only thing I would go for is like if we did like a flashback where we saw him as a person, if that's his background, a big if there. He might be like a demon. I don't know. I mean, he keeps not dying, so who knows what he is.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, that's the only thing. I just think, it's the Rob Zombie Halloween 2 thing all over again. It's unnecessary and it kind of ruins the character in a weird sort of way.
Yeah. Die. What? Who does that?
Or, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Steven, because I don't want to.
Well, I was just going to say, it's either you have that or you have this.
Stop. He didn't say it. Come on, man. You know he didn't say it.
Give it back. He said it. I swear, when I have my new laptop and I'm able to really make a video the right way, I'm gonna make a video on that. I'm gonna put it out there. I'll take the criticism. I'll take the hits.
No, it's definitely it makes you wonder, man. It really does. Because I remember we talked on the phone about it, and I was like, man, I don't know. I don't know. It's but I would err on the side of no. But
well,
who knows,
here's the thing, man.
I should have asked James that, man, when I had the opportunity. I didn't think about that. He probably wouldn't have answered me, man, because he was so big about giving these kind of ambiguous answers, and he's such a spiritual dude, which I love that about him.
Yeah.
And he's smart. He knows that not giving an answer is why we're still talking about that stuff right now.
That's right. Well, I think the key for me is figuring out, and I'll work on this. I'll figure it out, but I got to get the volume up all the way so that when I record this clip audio on the computer, it's loud enough that you can hear it. That's the whole key. But I'll figure that out. But yeah, man, he wouldn't have answered it. Just like if you asked Lynn McCree, anything about Roman or anything about anything regarding the past of the character of Maureen, she says she does this every time she goes. She's like,
that's smart.
She's like, that will remain with Wes and me. I'm like, yeah, all right, I respect it.
That's the way to do it, man.
That's all right.
That's the way to do it. I love it, man. And yes, Carrie, thank you. You knew I would be reading your comment. You knew. And she doesn't want Art to talk. And Julie said, I haven't even watched Terrifier, but I don't want him to speak. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
What could he say? What could he say that would be more entertaining than what he already does? That's my question.
Yeah. No, exactly, man. I mean, and like we said, with David Howard Thornton, I mean, that's his bread and butter, is that physicality and the humor that he puts into it, the life that he puts into that performance. It was part of the reason that he was chosen to play it, So I think I think he should remain mute. Real quick too, and Jen, thank you so much. Jen's putting in the live chat, and we were going to definitely get to this. She's saying make sure to turn on your notifications, find out who killed Craven's laptop.
That's right.
Yeah, man. Next Sunday, we're going to be hanging out on Steven's channel, Craven Something Scary. So definitely click the link, hit the like on that, and we're going to have a blast, man.
Yes.
We're calling it a horror fiesta.
Horror fiesta. That's it. Horror party. Which Ghostface killed my laptop? It's going to be, guys, a real-time interactive mystery game where we're going to have clues to decipher, and we will get a Ghostface reveal at the end of the stream. So you got to stay the whole time. The stream, and we're doing the stream early so that we know it's a work night for a lot of folks, school night, all that. So we decided to do this stream at 4 p.m. Central to 7. It's a 3-hour stream. It's only 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern. So you're done early. You're out of there at 8 o'clock. Plenty of time to get yourself to bed and do what you need to do for the next day. But guys, we're going to solve the mystery because a ghost face has killed my laptop.
Literally
killed it. It's dead. And so that link right there, guys, if you're watching this, if you will click that link, And smash the thumbs up button because Knight and I were talking about this the other day. And we really want to see this get to 50 likes before Sunday.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, that's the goal, 50. And we're already at 13, so it's on its way.
That's not enough.
It's not enough.
Craven,
that's definitely not 50.
We got to get angry.
Oh wow.
Go get him,
like
Bill
it.
Bixby.
You be good cop, I'll be bad cop. Like the stream. Damn it. Do it.
We greatly appreciate it. See, there you go. That's how that works. So you can
thank you. You got it.
I like it. But yeah. So anyway, we appreciate it, guys. I hope you'll all be there Sunday. It's gonna be a lot of fun, lots of interaction, games we're gonna be playing. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a party. Like Knight said, a fiesta.
That's right.
So we'll be looking for you guys there, 4 p.m. Central.
That's right. That's right, man. I mean, I can see it right now. And hey to everyone that's been jumping in too, man. Jason and Dan and all of you guys, Wayne. I can see right now, man, you had the Ghostface killer. Do you like to talk about scary movies? And then just destroys your laptop because he's pissed off.
That's right. That's right.
I know, he'll be stabbing like Sam and Six.
Oh, man.
I thought that was
into
like
a keyboard, like I could see it.
It was like a music video. Much love to Melissa. Well, that's a great segue. Guys, listen, man. And we've had a lot of conversations about Scream, specifically 5 and 6. And I remember when 6 had come out, and we even were talking about just the hype that we were going to be having for 7 and the anticipation of some great live streams and conversations. But man, wow. Let me ask this first, because I know we're going to kind of talk about what we think, but did you ever think it would get to this point, Jake? Did you ever? I mean, I kind of know the answer, but I'm just saying, I just want to have fun with it. But did you ever think it would get to this point, the domino effect that has happened with Scream 7?
It's weird, man. I covered Screams 5 and 6 so closely, and I remember talking about production issues with Scream 2, Scream 3, Scream 4 had like a poor marketing campaign. They just didn't make money. These sequels are weirdly plagued. It was something I brought up a lot when I was talking about Scream 5, because I was like, God, this franchise needs a win. They need something without issues, and I feel like up until the Nev Campbell pay dispute thing, everything was going really good. There was definitely the biggest side of negativity we got in that time was just a few fans who were like, I don't know if they can bring it back without Wes Craven. And then, it comes out, majority of people really liked it. And I was just like this unstoppable force when it came back with 5. You know what I mean? Then the pay dispute thing happens, and it's like, oh no, not again. Dear God, come on, let's keep this train. Come on, keep it positive, make it happen.
That's right.
And then 6 comes out, once again, even better reviews than the last one. I know some people hate it, and that's totally fine. But over on Rotten Tomatoes, whatever the fuck, it's got better reviews. That's cool. Hell yeah, man. And then this happens, and then it's like, what? It's almost like the pay dispute thing was like a warning. It's like, this franchise doesn't have long. It's gonna have its little another 15 minutes, but that's it. And I'm really just upset. You know what I mean? I haven't been, I guess I didn't live through 1996, so I can't say I'm like, oh my God, I'm the biggest Scream fan or anything like that. But it's been so close to my heart for so long. It just sucks. It really upsets me that we've come to this point where we're talking about rumors that they're getting an entirely new cast and all that for Scream 7. And I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I think if we had just finished a trilogy and everything was like, hell yeah, cool, 6 story, and now we're rebooting it, that's a different conversation, in my opinion.
Right.
I'm all about a Scream reboot, hot take, but not now. Not in the wake of the last 4 months, dude. It's almost in poor taste in a weird sort of way.
Good point. Yeah. I agree, man. It does definitely seem like it's in poor taste, and man, I agree. I don't want to see that yet. I just feel like there were still some things left to be done with where we were at in the story, and fair game. I mean, okay, we've got some folks that aren't or look like they're not going to be a part of it, but still, it's like and we've talked about them on our own channels. It's like there's still a bunch of ways we can put something together that can work, that can still be a good idea, a good story, and a good fit, and also a good fit for the fan base, the people that are actually like
Mm-hmm.
us. Is a small percent. And Fate is always good at reminding people about that. We're a small percent of what's going to happen in the box office, but we're the driving force. We're the ones, like you said, Jake, we're at the conventions with the
Mm-hmm.
merchandise. We're the ones that are getting
Right here.
the t-shirts. Yeah, exactly.
Right here on
So
YouTube. It's the diehards.
yeah, so I just hope, do the right thing. Do the right thing. That's all I gotta say. Steve, Steve, and Julie, you know it. You know he should have said die. But Steven, what? You gotta love Julie. But Steven, what are your thoughts too about it, man?
Okay. My thoughts start with two words. Gary Barber.
I knew he was.
You don't like that guy, huh?
I'm not
Who
a
would have
fan.
thought?
Not a fan. Gary Barber. And just to contrast this, and I don't have his name right off the top of my head, but it's one of the other high up executives at Spyglass. Now, Gary Barber is the top
Yeah.
CEO of the studio, but there's another one that's close to him who handles movies as well. And
Mhm.
I don't know his name, and his name is out there. If you Google it, you'll find it. This individual, did an amazing job working with Eli Roth and working on Thanksgiving. Spyglass put out Thanksgiving. It's an amazing film. Nothing but good things on Eli Roth to say about the experience. I've talked to two of the folks that were actually involved in the movie. Nothing
Mhm.
but good things to say. Well, if you believe in luck, which I'm not a big fan of luck, I don't really know that that's a real thing, honestly. But let's just say this for the sake of argument: someone in Scream drew the short stick, and we got Gary Barber instead. And if we'd have gotten this other guy,
Mm.
we would. You know what? We may be in a completely different spot right now.
Mm.
Nev could have been in 6. Who
Mm.
knows? Who knows? But
Mm.
here's the deal: Gary Barber is the producer. If you look at the credits, it's in 6. You'll see it. Producer Gary Barber. He's the one for Spyglass. He's the one that Variety magazine. I know I'm starting to ramble really hard here, but Variety magazine. Because I'm passionate about it. I'm upset
Right?
with this person
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's messed this up. And I never knew who it was because no one would say the name. Jamie Kennedy's like, I know who the person is, but he's still in the business, or wants to be. Well, anyway, Variety magazine is the one that whistle blew or leaked the name in an article that was Gary Barber that declined negotiations with Nev. He was behind it. He's
Mhm.
behind Sarah. He's the one that fired not Sarah, um,
M-
Melissa.
Melissa.
Yep. This is all Gary Barber's doing, guys. He's the one that deserves all of the frustration that we share. Is him, not even the studio. Because again, this other fella who did Eli Roth, did Thanksgiving, they were great. Like there was no
Mhm.
issues. And they already greenlit the sequel and everything else. So
Yeah.
Gary Barber's where we start now. You ask the question, what do I feel about 7? Well, here's the thing that I think needs to happen. I've said this before on many streams, I believe, but we haven't talked about it here, and obviously. So what needs to happen is Gary Barber needs to swallow a pill called humility and at least take one pill in his life of humility and realize and admit his mistakes, which I know is not easy for some people to do.
Mhm.
But and the way he doesn't, and he doesn't even have to, look, he doesn't have to do any of this thing publicly. I'm fine with that. But privately, he needs to go to Nev Campbell and say, you know what, we need you in 7. We want you in 7. We want to feature you in 7. You're going to be the lead again. We're going to a Wes Craven style Scream movie. Sidney Prescott, man, that's what's all focused on legacy. I
Mhm.
believe, like Jake was mentioning how You hear rumors about a reboot. I think that's the worst possible scenario for the success of this movie.
Mm.
I think it would be a terrible strategic move if you're the studio, and I don't think it's time for that. I think that time is coming, but I think we all agree it's not now. I
Yeah.
think you gotta go legacy all the way to save this movie, and if you do that, you get Nev back up the armored car to her front door, and just dump everything in her living room, all the money.
Mm-hmm.
Get Patrick Dempsey back as Kincaid. We know his salary for Thanksgiving was only $300,000 for that movie. So obviously he's open to not trying to rob the studio for. I think you would take a team salary to
Mm-hmm.
come work on.
He,
It's going to be more than that now, but you know, what was you going to say, Knight?
no, I'm saying, yeah, no, I agree. He'd
Oh,
do that for something like this. I truly do think so. You know, he'd do a
yeah,
Tom Brady. That's what he would do.
yeah, Tom Brady, bingo. I think so. And then you have Gail back, of course, who I think she's back anyway. And then you have the option of Kirby, who recently spoke out against Spyglass, siding with Melissa publicly. So I thought that may hurt her. If Gary Barber is that type of person, then she may have just been blackballed herself. But either way, this is last thing I'll say, and I'll be quiet, and you guys can tear it up or talk about it if you want. I think that's the only way Scream 7 works. You save the legacy fans. Like Jake mentioned, he wasn't there in 96, in all fairness. I was. Knight was. There's a lot of the fan base that was there from the beginning. They're going to win us back with Nev featured. And then let's finish this thing. And then you know what? There's this one fella that has his train. He's got his own train.
And you lost me.
Oh, Jake, come on. You're on the Scoot train. Come on.
Jake, all of a sudden, like we
Dude,
start getting an
yeah.
alarm on the train, and Jake's jumping off while the train is in motion. We're like, Jake, don't do it.
That whole time I was just like, "Fuck yeah, Craven, let's go!" And then he said, I was like, "Okay, man, I don't know." No,
Hey.
I'm so messing with you. I'm so messing with you.
Let me paint a picture. Let me paint a picture. We're on the train, and Jake's, in first class. He's having his fish and chips, and he's having fun. The music's swelling. All of a sudden, Steven
That's
says
right.
that. Jake's like, "What? What?" He's got chips falling out of his mouth. He goes to the door. He's like, "I'm off. I'm off." We got people trying to hold him back. It's like, don't do it.
Don't jump. Well, I'm just saying. In closing, I'm just saying that if Nev is back, there is always a chance that they could cash in on the clues that they've given and bring Stu back for that final battle at the end. And we would have two other Ghostface killers that we wouldn't know who they are. They'd be a part of the friend group. They'd be helping to get the murders done. And then we'd have the big reveal at the end of who they were, right? So there would be a murder mystery still be there. So that's my suggestion. I think anything short of that, or almost anything short of that, this movie is in trouble. I mean, I think it's in real trouble. If they announce a full reboot, I think it's going to really hurt them to the point where this could be another Scream 4 scenario. There could be such a revolt from the Melissa fans, the Nev fans, the Legacy fans, all of that combined together. With that movie could make 100 million, 95 million, and that's it. Scream's dead for 10 years. Be another 10 years before we get one, and that would be so sad. Because Gary Barber won't pay the Nev and get the people that they deserve for their highest grossing IP of the studio. So I'm done ranting. There it is. It's on the table.
Well, can I just say one thing, and then Jake, I'll pass it to you. When you really sit back and think about it, I know we have said this on other streams before on our channels, but when you really, what you just said, the end of your statement right there, and you think about that, that someone is not willing to pay Nev Campbell for a Scream movie. Now, I'm not talking about any other type
Right.
of movie or any other franchise, if you were thinking, hey, we want Nev Campbell to be a part of it, it's like, okay, sure, anything goes. But for a Scream film, you're not going to work with Nev Campbell. That just sounds ridiculous to me. Again, and we've tried to be careful about this too, because, we don't know everything. We know what we've found out, but we weren't right there and all of that. But I'm just saying, the bottom line is Nev didn't feel like what they were offering was equal to what she felt she brought to the franchise for over 25 years. It just blows your mind. It just blows your mind. I mean, and seriously, in light of, and obviously Scream and Halloween have run side by side with each other these last several years, right? Well, they figured out that they needed to get Jamie on board for Halloween. You know what I mean? They knew what was up. They're like, look, she's Laurie Strode. And they did what they had to do, whatever that was. But, talking about Scream, and you're not willing to have Sidney Prescott in your movies. Like, what the hell is going on here? So anyways, Jake, I'll throw it to you, man.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to rant.
But you got a good point, man. I mean, that's insane, Like, what, Tom Cruise is coming back for Mission Impossible 100, but you don't want to bring Nev Campbell back for Scream. It's insane. It's insanity, man. It makes me sad because I just think they don't get why we like this franchise or what makes Scream so different from other slasher movies. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's less about the killers. It's more about the survivors. And that's something that, Nev has talked about that countless times publicly about how, she doesn't want to do a Scream film where Sidney dies because that defeats the point of like a huge aspect to her character. And that's not just, that doesn't go as far as just comments that she gets at festivals, conventions, whatever. That's part of what makes this franchise so special and so fun. We talk a lot about who's your favorite final girl from the Friday the 13th franchise, but it's incredibly arguable. I don't even think there is an argument with Scream. I love Melissa Barrera, dude. She absolutely kills it in 5 and 6, but it's Sidney Prescott all day, dude. I mean, she's the best. She's awesome. She's had an incredible story arc like through all these movies, and she might be one of the best final girls of all time because this is a franchise that's dedicated to her and a lot of the other side characters. And that's so cool. It's like, whoa, it's like, what if we do a slasher movie, but it's more about like the characters who are usually, like in things like Friday the 13th, Nightmare on, interchangeable, just not at all the focal point. You see a Nightmare on Elm Street movie for Freddy Krueger. You see a Scream movie for the characters, the protagonists, you know what I mean? And that's something that I feel like has kind of gone out the window with these new ones in a way. I think it's just different, but now moving into 7, I'm worried that's going to be something that's totally tossed aside. And that's what I'm worried about. That's why I think like Scream 7 could enter this realm of not feeling like a Scream film. And that's something I guess I'm worried about. Like you can have a slasher film with Ghostface, but is that a Scream movie? That's such a big thing with these films that I think 7 is going to miss out on, depending on who. I mean, that's the other. Okay, one more thing. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place right now, but
all right.
I also think it depends on who does it. Like we don't have a creative team in mind. You know what I mean? I feel like I can't really talk about this movie until we have that. I can pitch my theories, this and that all day. Like, will it feature Sidney and Mark? Will it be an entirely new cast? Will it, will somehow by some miracle, will Melissa Barrera come back? We can talk about these avenues all day, but I feel like we really can't gauge a caliber of quality with this film until we know who the guy behind it is going to be. And I'm just waiting for that announcement, really. That's my big thing with 7. Like when we have a director in mind, like Christopher Landon, I was like, dude, let's go,
man.
Like this is gonna be awesome. And then he had, I would drop out too. I get it. I'm not complaining about him, dude. I mean, some of the shit that was coming his way is insane to me. But it all depends on who does it, and it's kind of it's kind of untouchable in a weird sort of way now. That's the other thing that's tough. Craven, I believe Tyler McIntyre on your page, you were telling me like he said he wouldn't touch that movie with a 6-foot pole or something like that.
Yeah, it was just a shame because I'm like, he was one of the ones I was thinking of that could be a good director for Scream 7. But right now with the current climate, he wouldn't touch it. He's like, nope, I would turn it down.
Dude, and that's a shame, man. Like, Tyler's a great director. Tyler has made some excellent movies. And same with Christopher Landon, same with, there's a bunch of other good candidates, I would say, to do Scream 7. But now I'm starting to think that, none of them are going to do it. It's going to be some someone who's done like an indie film somewhere one time. And
Oh,
I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Evil Dead has been doing that with the last couple of movies in its franchise, and those are pretty successful. But for
yeah,
Scream, it takes a certain kind of director, I think.
It does.
It's a little more unique than what the last two Evil Dead films have done, which have kind of just been like, hey, take the concept of the Necronomicon Deadites and just do it in your own style. That's not, it's tougher to do that with Scream. You know what I mean? It's a
Right.
tougher thing to execute and get it right, because Kevin Williamson's writing is so unique. You know what I
It
mean? How do
is.
you, if you direct that in a weird way, it could either become too campy or too serious, and you got to find that
yep.
middle ground with the right
Mm.
person.
Yeah. No,
Well,
you're absolutely right. I
I'm
agree.
still pulling for John Hyams, man, who did Sick, Kevin Williamson's Sick. So he's got a relationship with Kevin already. And I thought, again, I'm a big fan of Sick. I think he did a
Hmm.
great job directing it. We had that amazing opening, which felt like a Scream movie to me.
It did. Yeah.
It really did. And so, and it's a murder mystery and a who done it. And there's so much suspense and build up. There's great kills. So anyway, I'm personally pulling for John Hyams. That's my right at this point.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that. I think he's a good choice. After losing Christopher, because again, if Christopher was on board, I mean, we were so happy about that. I mean,
Oh my
it al-
gosh.
it almost seemed like it's like a magical wish coming down from above, because
It
it's like
was.
he is so in that mold of being able, like Jake said, to have that balance between the lightness and the horror, and having characters be so much at the forefront that you follow with them. And that's the beauty of these movies, and again, that's what has to be realized, is that these characters are special. They hold weight.
That's right.
They outweigh Ghostface in that sense. We love these characters. I mean, God, how many times have we talked about, you know, what happened to Dewey, either side of the fence. But we
Mm,
did we talk about that because we've been so
yeah.
attached to the character for all these years. And it's funny because, and Stephen, you know, we've been doing these rewatches of the Scream movies on your channel every
Yes.
Wednesday night, by the way, every Wednesday night. And
That's right.
the thing, as many times as I've seen these movies, as many times as I've talked about these movies, especially with you guys, the thing
Hmm.
that always strikes me is how well balanced they are, in the sense of keeping you on the edge of your feet, making you laugh out loud, making
Yep.
you attached to a character, making you going ooh or ah. And then a lot of times at the end of these films, making you feel like uplifted, which sounds weird to say
Yeah.
for a horror movie, but you do feel uplifted. When we just finished Scream 2 last week, it was like, it's like they survived, and Sydney's
Yeah.
walking along the campus. And of course, Wes has that great shot across the campus, and
Hmm.
no ghost face in the tower, but
Nope.
still, it was,
Nope.
it was, it was cool. You felt uplifted. You felt good, you know,
Absolutely.
and that's a special type of movie, a special type of horror movie, I should say, that can do that. And that's what a lot of these films were able to do. But you need a very gifted filmmaker to have that happen. And of course, we don't have Wes anymore, and now we don't have
No.
Christopher anymore. Hopefully they can figure something out, because it's a special franchise.
Yeah.
It has a great legacy, and I would just hate to see that legacy tarnished for stupid reasons,
Uh,
for
yeah.
stupid reasons. Like if Christopher had directed this film and you had
Mm,
everyone on board and they just misfired, sometimes
yeah.
stuff happens. You just misfire.
Hmm.
I would have said, well, okay, that's just too bad. But right now, with the decisions that have been made behind the scenes, and the what ifs and what could have been, things in our mind and theories, it's just like, this is a horrible. This is worse to me. I'd rather see them take a swing and miss, like a Halloween Ends, and just miss. And we can
Hmm.
we can just let that be and maybe absorb it. Who knows? Maybe down the road we can look back and see what we did like out of it. But cutting yourself off at the legs the way they've been doing, it's sad. It's
I
really
agree.
sad.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
And I thought we were at a great studio, and it was like no more of this meddling around with studio executives. We're gonna, I was all excited, right? Remember?
Mhm.
And Gary Barber has to decide he wants to impersonate Bob and Harvey Weinstein, and so he's doing his best impersonation of the
Yeah.
Weinstein interference at Dimension with
Yep.
what he's doing now. And I think he's just got an extreme ego, and he feels that he can make the better decisions than anybody else, and that's a shame.
It is. It
I'm
is.
just tired.
I know, right? It wears you down.
Dude, because I remember making the video, like when Scream 7 got announced. I remember, like, dude, I was jumping out of my closet in a Ghostface
Yeah.
costume. I'm like, let's fucking go, round 3, baby, And
Yeah.
then, okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
I
Now the
know.
dream is over.
I know. It is a bummer, but I guess because we're all like, I guess
I know.
to kind of put some light out there, like you said too, Jake. I mean, let's see what they're gonna do. We got to have the patience. We got to try to keep the faith and just hope that cooler heads will prevail, especially on one particular side of the fence. And I mean,
Oof.
again, a lot of it, and I don't want to go on another rant about it, but a lot of it is just let's be business smart. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right.
Don't just blow the whole thing up and let's
Mhm.
just reboot it. Let's we've got a lot. That's the beautiful thing about the Scream franchise. We've got a lot of possibilities because we've got a lot of great characters and we've got a lot of history and a great legacy. So we can still have something special. We just have to get
Yeah.
the right pieces. That's all we need. So I'll leave that there with a sense of hope.
I like that.
There
I
you
like
go.
ending it with hope.
Yes. There's always a chance.
What is this, Star Wars?
The rebellion will prevail.
Yes. What was it that they said in Rogue One? Andor said, what do you say? Make 20 men feel like 100 or something like that. It's like,
Are we making this a little over dramatic? No. What are you talking about?
No way.
right?
Not
I
at
know.
all.
I know, man. And hey, in the chat, you guys have been hilarious. Jason, I totally agree with you. Spyglass, definitely a tremendous opportunity. They could turn this whole thing around, and we could have a stream where we're like partying and just like wow, and
Yeah.
just kind of like it was for 5 and 6 with just so many possibilities and theories, man.
That's right.
To push off of Scream for a quick second, did you guys, and I know you guys have, but look, man, we have another movie that's going to be coming out that for some fans, or at least from some people I've heard, they're kind of like, well, what do we need to do this for? We already had 2 of these movies and they're kind of retreading on the same thing. But with The Strangers, chapter 1 coming out, anything that you guys wanted to share, if you'd like to, about The Strangers? Because I've got a couple thoughts too, man. Because obviously the trailer just came out, and yeah, Jake, any thoughts that you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'm like trying so hard not to get excited for this movie. That's where I'm at with this. Dude, I saw that trailer and like I was like, I'm so hyped for this, but I know I shouldn't be. I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, this could be another banging like Thanksgiving level slasher. But then again, I feel like I'm so 50-50 on it. It could either be an absolute retread of The Strangers Chapter 1, or I mean, the first Strangers movie. This is Chapter 1, sorry.
Yeah.
And I would honestly be upset leaving the theater. Like I've heard some people say like, oh, well, it'll be modern, might be cool, whatever. I'm like, dude, I got it on my shelf. If I want to watch The Strangers 2008, I'll just put it on. I don't want to pay $12 a ticket for that. So I'll be disappointed if that happens. But then again, I saw some things in the trailer that give me hope. I saw, and some people are going to run to the effing hills when I say this, but I saw elements of social commentary, which makes me think this is a different story we're trying to tell here. That's exciting to me. Maybe some people are like, okay, nope, turning it off. I don't even care anymore. But I'm excited for that because it implies that this could be a different story. Could. Keyword. The other thing is we have a different relationship between the couple. I'm really drawing at straws here, but but it's a different relationship than what we saw in the first Strangers movie, where we have this couple that's kind of in the middle of an argument. You know what I mean? Yes, they've been together a while, but it's different. It is a different situation going into the film than what we have presented here. So that gives me faith that maybe it's different, man. But they spoiled a lot of the jump scares in that trailer,
right?
Yeah, dude, I'm kind of mad. The axe coming through the door and almost hitting Madeline Pesh in the face kind of got me in the trailer. I was like, ooh,
it did.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Good.
I like that. It looks well shot, looks well acted. I think the characters might be cool. Richard Brake is in the trailer and nobody's talking about that. What the hell?
Right?
That's so exciting to me. So
look.
Knight, I'm getting mad because I'm so on the fence with this movie. This has been the most like I'm 50-50 on this film so hard. It makes me mad. I didn't mean to say I'm hard. I'm trying to say 50-50.
Wow.
I'm upset with this film, man. I don't know how to feel about it, Knight. And it's my job to tell you how I feel. So I don't know, man.
Right.
Who fucking knows at this point? Craven, what do you think?
Well,
I need a drink after that.
Yeah, you do. It's not even here, man. Come on.
I'll tell you, I have not seen the new trailer. And after hearing what you're talking about, I don't think I'm going to now.
Yeah, right.
I'm not selling this, huh?
Well, no, it's more like I don't want to have all those scenes spoiled, so that when they're in the when you're watching the movie, you already know now that this is what's going to happen to this person. The surprise has gone away. So
well, there's that. I think it's possible that they realize, and of course, studios they have 1,000 different reasons why they do these types of things, but I really think they're just trying to sell this movie, sell the high points as hard as they can. Not to use that word again, Jake, but I think it's because they know there's going to be people that are going to be like, well, wait a minute, is this a sequel to Pray at Night? What is this? Wait a minute, that looks just like the one from, what was it, 2008? And I think they're just trying to sell it as much as they can. That being said, I agree. I was 50-50 on it from the get-go, because I was like, bro, Pray at Night was pretty cool. There were some great things in Pray at Night. I would have loved to have, kept going. So I'm like, well, why are we going backwards? Like, if this was, another 15 years later, maybe, okay. But I mean, we're talking about a movie that just came out in 2008. But here's the other thing that got to me was I felt like it was some retread. Jake, I agree, spot on about some possible commentary, which, if it's executed well, I'm all for it. That's cool. Richard Brake just shows up in movies, man. He's like, Barbarian,
he makes movies better, dude.
He does. Barbarian comes out, all of a sudden Richard Brake's on the screen. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Richard Brake is in this? So I'm all for Richard Brake. But it seemed like they were some retread stuff, some new stuff in it, but it also seemed like it was a little bit of a combo with the first Strangers and Pray at Night a little bit. So I was like, okay. Because that first movie, and I'm a fan of it, I've talked about it. I've talked about Pray at Night as well. But that first movie is I love it. But it's not a movie I rewatch a lot. I got to prepare for it.
It's a lot.
It's heavy. It's heavy, bro. There's a lot of tears going, you know what I mean? Because it's just such a downer. Because like you said, the relationship with Liv Tyler, and it was Scott Speedman, right?
Yes.
The first one? Yeah.
I mean, Glenn Howerton and Liv Tyler,
Yeah. They're just not, they're not happy, bro. So this movie looks like they're kind of changing that up a little bit, which, okay, that's cool. But anyways, I don't want to rant, but yeah, I'm 50-50 on it as well, as far as how I think it's going to end up. I'm going to watch it, because I have to watch it because I'm invested in the Strangers. But it could be a train wreck. It could be a train wreck.
To add to that, though, I think that chapter 1 is going to be the one I like the least, because we're don't forget, we're getting 3.
Right.
Not 1, not 2, 3 of them this year is what's been promised. They were all shot back in 2022. They're all coming out this year. And I think what's gonna happen is, like, this one's coming out like May 17th, if I'm remembering correctly.
Something like that, yeah.
That's gonna come out. It's going to do its 4-week little run in theaters. We're going to get the trailer for the next one. 2 months later, that comes out. Same thing, like rinse and repeat. We're just going to get them back to back to back. I think they're going to get better as they go along. That is my hot take. Now, that does not follow any trilogy, in my opinion, that we have gotten in horror movies or slashers recently. Like, everything's been, if you just look at the grand reviews, you know, you might have a differing opinion. That's all good. But Halloween 2018, hell yeah. Halloween Kills, with the reviews. Halloween Ends, you know, with the reviews specifically. All has gone downhill. Scream 6, though, you know, is a bit of an outlier out there. You know, that's a little higher rated than Scream 5. I genuinely think that we're going to like chapters 2 and 3 a lot more, because Rennie Harlan has even, you know, the director of all 3 of these, he's even said, like, this first one's just trying to get, like, capture the energy of the franchise as it is. And then we're going to start, you know, telling different stories about the strangers moving into 2 and 3. So I'm kind of at this point with the first film where I'm like, I'm willing to swallow this pill of this movie just being a retread of the original to see how weird it can get in 2 and 3. And if it pays off in 2 and 3, then I'll be like, okay, I'll deal with chapter 1. Cool. Sounds good. So I feel like I really can't judge this movie until I've seen the other 2 as well. So this is one of the most complicated releases of the entire year, at least for me, because of that reason. I feel like we're not going to have the full painting, the full picture, full story until the credits roll on chapter 3 later this year.
Good point. Yeah, good point. I'm curious too, man. I'm really curious.
Oh, I didn't realize they were dropping 3 this year.
Yeah.
I missed that. Wow.
Yeah. I was like, wow, they're really...
Man, dude,
pulling the cart before the horse here. But Rennie Harlan is a very talented director. I mean, you know, a lot of great films. I did kind of get a sense of his style in some of the shots in the trailer, which, again, you know, like Jake said, I know they want to sell this movie, but I wish they could have pulled back just a little bit, because it would have been, for me personally, it would have been cool if we didn't see some of those scenes that reminded me of Prey at Night. Yeah. Because when I saw Prey at Night, that was one of the first things that really like got me into it. I was like, holy crap, we're not just going to be in this one location. We're going to actually give a chance for these characters to you know, think and try to survive. And then there's going to be, you know, a lot of tension that way. But again, they probably are figuring, hey, we got to hit this ball as far away as we can and try to get this thing rolling. I don't know. I don't know
either, man. I have no idea what to expect for this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Julie, I hope it goes better than the Exorcist trilogy plans. Right?
Don't even say that, Julie. Jesus.
Hey, look, all seriousness though, because I don't even think we've talked about this here. Is there hope for Deceiver? Is there hope for Deceiver? I'm just asking the question, man. I'm just asking the question. Is there hope for this second film? You know, in this
I got a
Exorcist
short answer
trilogy?
for you. Yeah, I have one short answer.
Okay.
Yes, there is hope if it's directed by James Wan.
Right.
If he does not direct it, I mean, come on, man. I don't have much hope for any of it right at this point. James Wan, to me, he could make it work probably really well. At least we know it would be filmed well. It would be good pacing. You know, he would do the very best with what he has to work with. I know that. But that's just my 2 cents.
I mean,
I agree.
You know, if they decide to rework the entire story, scripts, change directors and creatives and cast, yeah. It could work if they do all of that. But like, my thing is, like, you're calling it The Exorcist Deceiver. This is going to be a continuation from that movie from last October. I can't see it being good. I'm sorry. Like, I know some people enjoyed it. I remember I kind of I came out the gate with that review. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, you don't do that to Ellen Burstyn, okay, dog? Like, what the hell happened, man?
That is true. I don't know why they did that, man.
I don't know why they did that. That made me so sad. I was like, what? No, you're disrespecting my horror grandma here. What's going on? But I don't know, man. I think it's pretty much in the can. And you know what? Here's the other thing. I was like just shitting on Blumhouse during that whole time, just saying like, what are they thinking? What are they doing? And then I saw the box office for Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I realized, oh, they were taking a gamble. They knew exactly what they were doing, but it just, sometimes you take a big risk and sometimes it doesn't work out, but they could afford it. Clearly.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, man. I mean, listen, man, when you're doing these types of movies and you're spending so little comparatively, and you're able to, get 100 million, 80 million or whatever for some of these films, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, you got to give them credit. They know what they're doing. They've got the formula. They've got the variety of film. Like, they're just casting such a huge net, for horror fans. And I got to give my hats off. It's been a lot of those films. Some of those films have not hit for sure, but there's been so many of them that it's like, wow, all right. And like you said, Stephen, James Wan partnering up with Jason and with Jason Blum and all these things that they've been doing for these several years. It's like, geez, it's just crazy to even think. I mean, we're going to be talking about Malignant later on Slasher Movie Club. You just think about the things that they've been able to do and the things that they're going to continue to do. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, even like with Insidious, like, look, when you've got a franchise that has that many films and you're talking about doing, you heard about Thread, the offshoot that they're going to be doing for Insidious. It's like, wow. It's like you've got the Conjuring universe, you got the Nun's got, these two movies, Annabelle's got the movie. Yeah, it's like, holy shit, man. But it's smart business, and there's quite a few good things that they've been able to do with these films. So my hat's off.
I know we got to wrap this up, but can I throw one more topic out there regarding Blumhouse?
Yeah.
We do have a new Blumhouse movie this week, my dudes. I don't know if you know about Imaginary is coming out this week.
Oh, is it this week? Ooh.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious how you guys feel about this one.
Well, I'm hoping to imagine that it's going to be good. Pun intended.
Pun intended. Okay.
I'm hoping to check it out. I'm hoping to check it out, man, because I've been starving to go to the theater. Hot take, Dune 2 is amazing. I saw that last week. But yeah, I want to see Imaginary. I'm hoping that it's going to be good. What about you guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it looks really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of potential in it. I don't know who's directing Imaginary.
Oh,
do you know who it is?
Damn it. No, hold on.
Jeff Wadlow, who did Truth or Dare and Fantasy Island.
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't see Truth or Dare or didn't hear good things about it.
Right.
And I did watch Fantasy Island and
exactly.
Jake. There you go. I'm not going to rush out and get that. Fantasy Island, I thought it was just okay for me. I thought that it kind of missed the mark. So, but again, he's working with the script he's given, right? So that's you got to look at how it was actually made. But I like the premise of Imaginary. I think it's cool. Mm-hmm. It could be a lot of fun. I just hope it's not like, I don't know. I just hope it's not one of those movies where, it's just like, oh, that's all there is to it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, leave that feeling where you're like, wow, that was underwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my worry about it. I'm afraid it might end up that way. But I hope not. Good point. Hope not.
Yeah. I agree.
After watching the trailer, all I can think about it is I know exactly what is going to happen in this movie. You know what I mean? Blumhouse doesn't surprise me much anymore. That's my big thing. I went to their movies early on, in like the early 2010s when they were putting out things like Insidious, Paranormal Activity, Sinister. Yep. I mean, these movies were shocking. These movies were like insane.
True.
And now every Blumhouse movie follows the same formula. It is so cookie cutter. And if if you don't believe me, watch Night Swim and then watch Insidious Part 5 or whatever, The Red Door. Watch both of those movies back to back. It's like the same plot, but one takes place at college, one takes place at a house. Same thing. I don't know, man. I'm just like, these are the same movie and you just keep pumping it out, and y'all just keep making money. They keep getting away with it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Everyone's drinking the Kool-Aid. Don't get me going on Insidious, the Red Door, man. I still have been trying to hold my rant in because I truly love the franchise so much, and I absolutely love Patrick Wilson. And it's not that I don't think he did a good job directing, because I think there was some good stuff he did with it, but the story was it was just lackluster to what you're used to. I mean, in Insidious, the dynamic of the family, and in the movies that Lin Shaye was a part of, it's like that was the power of the franchise to me. And they kind of made choices that limited that severely, and that's why I couldn't even believe how disappointed I was in the Red Door, man. I'm telling you.
Well, I haven't seen any of the Insidious movies. I mean, as you guys know, I'm just now watched Conjuring 2. So I'm
really?
I watched Conjuring 2 Friday.
Dude.
Friday matinee.
He's on board. He's on board, Jake.
Oh man, the first 2 Conjurings, so good. I love them.
Very good, man.
Heck yeah.
I'm excited for Conjuring 3. Whenever we'll be watching that, I'm sure soon. So yeah, I'm enjoying them, man. And also, Night and the Friday matinee crew got me to watch The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which I never thought I would ever watch.
Hell yeah.
And that was really good. It was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Like I say, man, you never know.
You should watch The Taking of Deborah Logan. Kind of fits into that whole like subgenre.
Dude, that one was so creepy, bro.
It's creepy. Like not a like in your face kind of movie. It's just more like creepy. Like you're just seeing shit where you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. Good point, man. Good point.
Really like
that. Well, guys, as we start to wind down, of course, we could probably do this for another hour, but Jake's got a stream coming up, and we definitely want to let him get some water and get situated and do a little dancing behind the camera and do what he has to do. Wow, that's some water, bro.
That's some water.
I'm a thirsty guy.
Yeah, you are. But for you guys in the chat, thank you guys. Destin, there's my daddy, brother, and uncle.
Oh, hey,
who's
son.
who?
What's up, bro?
Who's your daddy?
Nephew.
Yep, I'm the daddy. You're the nephew. You're the uncle. Jake's the brother.
There you go.
That's it.
That's fair. Daddy
fair.
Craven.
That's right.
There he is. But for you guys in the chat, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. It was fun to kind of get together and just talk some horror. A lot of good things going on, a lot of things we're looking forward to, and definitely fingers crossed for Imaginary. But leave us some comments in the comment section. You guys know the drill. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. Look out for Jake in a couple of minutes. I'll be on later on tonight. Steven's got stuff all this week, and culminating on next Sunday for the Horror Fiesta at 4 p.m. Central. And we're going to find out which of those damn Ghostface killers killed his laptop. So
that's right.
We will catch you guys later. Much love. Peace out. And as always, the collective has spoken. See ya.
Bye, guys.